All right, guys, welcome to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight have Mr. Tim Micah helping us out with questions and concerns that come up along the way. Tim, are you with us?
Good. Yep, good evening, everybody.
All right, so for those of you guys that are new, I do see one new name in there for sure. We use GoToWebinar for the training classes here. Everybody is on mute just to eliminate any background noise. And if you guys do have questions, there is a questions panel in the GoToWebinar. And if you guys just want to type those questions in there, and we'll get those answered for you right away. And definitely take advantage of ask as many questions you want, because like I've said in the past, these classes are solely dedicated for you guys and just a learning purpose for you guys. So, and I guess with that being said, we definitely welcome your guys' suggestions too. So if you guys have a suggestion, send it over to me in email, and I will put my email address in the chat for you guys. All right, so everybody should have my email address there. If you guys do have suggestions, send those over to me. I got a whole slew of them, so we'll definitely be going wild with these night classes for you guys. But also, every class is being recorded for you guys, so you guys can use it as reference. And I do have all the parts that we use, so if you guys would like to have certain part files that I worked on, or you see a YouTube video with a specific part, let me know, and I can grab that for you. Let me just pull up the SolidCAM University channel. I guess the easiest way to get to the SolidCAM University channel is if you just type in KevCAM in the search dialog right here. You'll see my ugly mugshot pop up, and or you guys can type in SolidCAM University also. And I'll put the link for you guys in the chat also. So there's the link there. Hit the subscribe button so you guys can get anytime we add a new video in there. Myself and Mark are constantly adding videos in here. Mark does more of the short videos, and I'm kind of doing a little bit of longer ones on how to do everything inside there. And like I said, if there's something that you guys want to see in here, let us know, and we will definitely add that in there for you guys. So we got a request to use a 90-degree angle head on a machine, so I just have to upload that video for you guys. So, but I guess with that being said, tonight we are covering 5-axis drilling. Now, 5-axis drilling, this operation enables you to machine a series of drills at different orientations. So you'll see that we have a whole slew of drill holes right here. Now, if you're not running the 5-axis drilling, you would basically have to create a coordinate system on each one of these faces over here. You know, you can definitely take your part to the extreme and put angle holes all around there. I actually have one other part that has holes coming in on compound angles and all that good stuff for you guys. But you know, it's a very simplified, easy to use operation. And Tim, just I guess for maybe everybody in here too, and for my knowledge, is 5-axis drilling part of the simultaneous 5-axis, or is this an additional, or can they just get it by themselves?
Yeah, great question, Kevin. So, you know, with some of your licenses, as Kevin and I were just kind of getting started here, I kind of looked to do a quick look at a couple licenses there. Some of you guys have what's called simultaneous 5-axis, the package, which includes HSS simultaneous 4th and simultaneous 5th. George, you're one of the guys in the class here. I see that your license doesn't have HSS or simultaneous 4th, but you have swarf contour and drilling. So that is kind of a little sub package that we will sometimes sell to certain customers in licenses, you know, to give them the swarf machining for 5-axis, contour machining, and the 5-axis drilling. So it's kind of a little subset that gets sold all by itself for somebody who doesn't do a lot of the full surface machining work. So yeah, so we offer it in both ways. If you have the full simultaneous 5-axis module, you actually get swarf contour and drilling included in that.
Okay, so if they just had like, you know, eye machining, drilling, profile pocket, they could actually add the multi-axis drilling to that without
Yep.
having to upgrade? Okay, perfect.
Exactly. You don't have to go all the way to 5-axis full system. So it's kind of a little bit of a stepping stone for some guys who need that, just that functionality. A good example is that is somebody who's doing vacuum form parts, and they want what's called a 5-axis trimming package. They do a lot of cutting the flashing away when you do a vacuum form part, and they also want to be able to pop holes in it and things like that. That's what that SCD, Swarf Contour and Drilling package is for.
Perfect. So that kind of answers my question then. I was kind of curious about that, but yeah, the 5-axis drilling is going to make things very easy to use. Like I said, just because we don't have to create a coordinate system on each one of these whole planes here. Especially when we get into our next part, we got some, these holes are at angles, and then a compound angle on top of that. So, but very easy to use. So we got this little severe part here, holes all the way around it. So what we're going to do is just do our regular multi-axis drilling. We only have one option up here, and it's set up just how kind of what I've been going through with the simultaneous 5-axis. A little bit different on the drill geometry. So we have a couple different ways of grabbing your drill geometry. We can just easily pick a hole and click find holes, and it's going to find all my holes that are that size for me. If I get rid of this, and I can actually use a filter and click on a filter here, and let's say I just want to do a specific diameter hole. So I can hit the little check box right here for hole diameter, highlight the from or the to, and just click on the outside perimeter, and it will actually auto-populate those numbers for us. So real kind of nice feature there. And then we can do, we can filter out hole height. If you guys have your holes that are different colors, we can definitely do that. But a lot of kind of cool stuff in here if we just want to do the blind holes or through holes, just kind of filter out some of the stuff, if you get a lot of different size hole parts in there. Another way of going about it is kind of come in here and you can grab from your feature tree also. So a lot of different ways of grabbing your holes, completely up to how you guys want to do it, but I'm just going to click the find holes. Now, one thing with the 5-axis is you want to make sure your arrows are pointing out. This will indicate, which way the 5-axis head needs to be rotated to achieve that whole direction right there. So you'll see that I have all my arrows pointing out. Looks good. Simple as that, grabbing the geometry. Next up, grab our tool. So we can come in here and just grab my drill bit. And it's really easy, just like drilling. Levels, where do you want your safety and retract levels? I'm just going to leave this just as a default right here. Now, if I want to come in here and, change up my depth, you'll see that everything's kind of grayed out. Don't get discouraged by that. All you have to do is just come over here and hit the plus button, and then everything comes alive for us. So maybe if we want to come in here and do a spot drill, we could put our whole drill depth at 0 and do our diameter value. So if we're cutting a, I think it was a 4 or a 4, I can't remember what size hole. If we wanted to do a 5-inch, so we have a little bit of chamfer on there, we could definitely put that value in there. Now you can sort these out so each hole is its own. So if I wanted to do, maybe this one a little bit deeper depth, I can do that. But what it's pulling these numbers from is the actual model itself. So you really shouldn't have to do a lot of messing around here, but if there is that scenario where you need to go a little bit deeper or maybe a little bit shallower, you can do individual holes, or we can put that number and hit the little check box for all and then do apply, and then it will apply that depth to all the holes in this group for you guys. So, all right. So, and then, excuse me, the technology section is how do you want to drill out your hole? Do you want to do a G81, G82, G83? You guys can use this for tapping and peck tapping. Also, if you want to bore out a hole. But for this particular one, we can just do a G83, and we can just do a step down of, let's do 0.5 here. and we can do a QPEC. Now, one thing sometimes gets a little confusing, and I can't remember if I talked about this when we went over the drilling, but your step down right here, it all depends on your post processor. Some posts are set up so you can just put the step down value in here, and it's going to automatically add that to your QPEC. Your step down value right here is just for simulation only, I guess you could say. But in some cases, it will affect your post too. So it just depends on how they built your post. So we'll just do a 0.5, oops, for our QPEC here. And I can, just like our regular drilling that we've covered before, you can do a first PEC, reduce amount, dwells, and all that good stuff here. But that is it. Very simple, easy to use. Right here you have your sorting, just like in drilling. So you can sort it out however you want. You know, we're kind of starting at the like on the side and working our way around, coming all the way, getting all those bottom holes going all the way around, and then we kind of move up and keep just doing a spiral pattern. Now, if you guys wanted to change that up, we can do, you know, a shortest distance. We could even do it advanced and hit the little button right here, and we can change up our pattern how you guys want. I know we've kind of covered a lot of this already in the drilling, but a little bit of a review for you guys. But so definitely a lot of different options here. You know, you can do cylindrical here and go up and down instead of going sideways. So couple cool options there for you guys. Tool axis control, pretty easy. Do you want a 4-axis output or 5-axis output? For this one, we're definitely going to need 5-axis just because of the way the head's rotating around and with these angles here. So not a lot going on right here. For those of you guys that don't have a 5-axis and want to make your life a lot easier programming with drilling holes for the 4th axis and don't want to put those coordinate systems on there, definitely just come down to your 4-axis and call her good. And then gouge check. If we want to do a gouge check basically against a holder is kind of what we're kind of going for there. We're really not going to have to worry about gouging because it's automatically pulling in the depth of the holes for us. It already tells us the diameter of the holes for us, so not a lot we really have to even worry about with gouge checking, but that option is here for you guys also. And then, you know, you got your clearance of your holder, and then machine controls like what we've had through pretty much every operation that we've kind of gone through for you guys. So that being said, let's do save and calculate. And we have all our drill holes coming in here. So like I said, this is real simple, easy to use. If we want, let's go ahead and simulate this through. Do a solid verify first. Like I said, just going around and grabbing all those holes. It knows all the angles automatically for the whole location. So we don't have to worry about, you know, different angles. It all figures that out automatically for you guys. If we throw this on the machine sim here. Get this loaded up. Get rid of our tool path. And I guess we want to see what it looks like with the shroud on. It's kind of with the machine shroud there. And we'll get that out of the way so we can kind of see what's going on here. Slow it down a little bit. Doing our PEC. Just rotating around, working on the bottom. And then we'll see it kick up after this. I think it's this hole. Yep, right there. And it takes out all the guesswork for you guys, so it makes it real nice and easy for doing any drilling on an oddball area, I guess you would say. If you guys are just doing a single hole or multiple different holes. Speed it up a little bit here. There we go. So we have a finished off part there. Any questions, guys, on this part? The 5-axis drilling here. All right. Tonight's class will be a little short just because the 5-axis drilling is so simple and easy, but And let's go to our next part here. Okay, so here's looks like a pretty simple part here, but if we actually kind of get down in there, like this hole right here, you can see it's kind of coming in at a very odd angle. Same thing with this hole right here, this hole right here. They're all kind of coming in at these goofy, funky angles. So like I said before, instead of kind of coming in here, setting up your coordinate system to be aligned with that hole and trying to figure out where to probe it and all that good stuff, we'll let the software do all the hard work for us. I just noticed I have my my coordinate system flipped all around here. My X should be going the other way, but that's all right. So once again, we can do our multi-axis drilling. Go to geometry, and we'll just kind of zoom in on one hole, click find holes. I grabbed all of them. I don't want to do that center hole right there, so I can come over here and just remove that one from my group. So it's easy enough to swap them around. Go ahead and grab my drill bit here. And our levels. And we'll just kind of leave everything and see what we get here. Technology, let's do another peck drilling here. And we'll just do 100th thou peck. And for correct G code, let's do 100th thou right there. Hit OK. Tool axis control, don't have to worry about it. Gouge check, don't have to worry about it. Save and calculate. So now it's saying my clearance is too narrow. So let me get over to my levels. And let's just set this at 0.25. All right, I got to, let's see, maybe let's move these all at 0.25 here. There we go. So it was, I'm not sure why it was saying too narrow, because I put a smaller number in there. Instead of 80 thou, I put, or 800 thou, I put 250 thou in there. And that's kind of was telling me that I couldn't get my angle that it was trying to achieve with that that distance I put in there for some reason. So maybe, just out of curiosity, if we had this at 0.5, change that 0.5. Maybe these numbers all have to be the same for everything to jive for the head to get rotated around here. This kind of rotated here, but yeah, that looks, everything looks good there. Guess I'm not sure why I got that error there for a second, but once again, if we needed to, we can come in here and modify our drill depth or do down to a certain diameter. But like I said, default is going to be down to the tip, going through that part for us. So, and cover technology. Already saving calculated. So let's go and do a solid verify here. So we're doing a little bit of air cutting right there. So what we can do is definitely shorten up that clearance and retreat distance, so we don't have to, we're not cutting any air there. So you can see our first about 3 pecks aren't hitting what's going on there. So let's just kind of clean that up a little bit. Let's just put that back at 0.25, 0.25, 0.25 here. Bring everything down a little bit. Still doing a little bit air cutting, but I don't dare bring that down too much further, just because when it goes to rotate the head around, I don't want that. It's already going to be a pinched butt cheek when that head's rotating around that close to the that part there. So I'll savor the 2 extra dry cuts there, or the air cuts there. Let's see what she looks like in Machine Sim here. And I know everybody that's on the meeting can testify those little moments when you're on the machine.
Yep.
All right, so you can see that we're kicked over on their side, and then we're also kicked over this way to get that angle in there. So if we just kind of play this through here, rotating around, and voila, we got our holes. Like I said, pretty simple, easy to use. Other than that retreat distance being, I guess, or maybe a rule of thumb is, try to keep these distances all the same for you guys. I'm not sure why, but I can definitely look into that. But other than that, like I said, it's basically drilling. If you were to actually come over here and just do a standard drilling operation, basically the same thing. You got your geometry, tools. Our levels look a little bit different, but pretty much the same thing. Still got your, safety and clearance. Technology is going to look identical. The only thing that is different is when we get over to the tool axis control, if you want a 5-axis output or a 4-axis output.
Yep, and the other advantage is being able to do all the holes in multiple directions like that without having to set up all those coordinate systems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can do it all in 2D drilling, but with the swarf contour and drilling options enabled, you don't have to set up those coordinate systems.
Yeah, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Just setting up the coordinate system isn't too bad for these compound angles. It's trying to get it so to line up on your machine to probe that compound angle at that weird, finding your G54, I guess you'd say, or your G54.1 P1. That's going to be the toughest. Where we can now come in here, and if we want to, let me get this part kind of rotate around here. If we want to come in here and do our, what am I looking for here? Probe. And, we can just do a Z point. That looks good for our Z plane. And just add a probe in there real quick. All right, that looks good. Let's see. Clearances. All right. Oops. Here, I was just going to make this kind of off the cuff for you guys, but I must have my planes a little bit.
Is it because your coordinate system direction?
No, I'm just doing a Z hit.
Okay.
Well, anyways, what I was getting at is just come in here, probe your part, do your Z hit, and go around your part, find the middle of your part there, or if we wanted to, if this was coming off the lathe, to do this dish out, we could just probe up that hub right there. So real easy to make your life easier on the machine. So, any questions, guys? I know this class is probably our shortest one yet, but there's just not a whole lot in the 5-axis drilling. They've made it pretty simplified, pretty easy to use with what they've done in there. So not a lot to show you guys here. Just definitely want to kind of show you guys the features and just like I said, how easy it is to use with without having to create those coordinate systems like Tim was saying. So doesn't look like we got a kind of a quiet group here.
Oh, here we got something.
Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. Appreciate that.
I don't know if the other people can see the question, but as Ronnie says, it's the class is complete. It is what it is.
Yep. Now,
awesome.
Next week it's going to get. It's probably going to be one of my favorite classes that we're going to be doing. next week we are going to be doing what's new in SolidCAM 17. There's a lot of great stuff that they've added in there, a lot of cool stuff. I'm really excited to show you guys. I'm hoping that we can get through it in an hour's time, but like I said, they've added a lot of cool stuff in there with the smart face and all that good stuff. Now, one change up. I know we've been doing these night classes for a little bit over a year now, hasn't it, Tim?
Yeah, it probably is. It's hard to believe, but
yeah. We are actually going to be moving the night class to Tuesday night instead of Wednesday night.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So hopefully everybody can still attend the Tuesday night versus a Wednesday night. And just got some scheduling conflicts going on now, but with kids in school. But Tuesdays are good. Perfect. Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah, and hopefully everybody can still make it there. We have a good probably 10, 15 guys in here that are regulars, and I'd love seeing you guys in there. So hopefully you guys can make that class on Tuesday nights versus Wednesday night. Still same time, still the same setup and everything, but you guys will just get your training class one day quicker. I guess you'll say.
There you go, Kevin. And I think quite a few of our customers too as well have families that, Wednesday nights are typically, reserved for family time, religious time, that type of thing. So that's I think what you've been doing here over the last year has been awesome, and continuing it on, just having to change the date. I think this is a great thing. Could you talk a little bit about the 2017 release and things like that? How are things coming along with that? It sounds to me like we're pushing that out to customers as they're requesting it. Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. So right now, when you guys go to the SolidCAM website, if we just go there right now, I do have a default login, so I can kind of show you guys what you guys will see. If I can remember the password, hopefully it will be good. All right, so if you go to subscription and downloads, go to SolidCAM add-on, you guys will see only 16 is available right now. What we're doing is a soft release. It's not a beta. We are on SP1 Hotfix 2. We're slowly rolling it out. How it kind of works is we kind of get the German team gets everything, or it goes through development phases, adding all the good bells and whistles. Like any software, you add one thing, it breaks 30 other things. So it gets through all that process. Then it gets rolled out to Germany. Once Germany gives the stamp of approval, then we kind of soft releasing out to you guys. The reason it's not on the website is just we've never had it, but just in that one case scenario that there is one thing that is completely broken, we're not having a couple 100,000 of you guys download that version all at the same time and it's broken. So what we're doing is just doing a soft release. We've been doing a soft release for about a month and a half now. Everything seems to be working great. So I guess if you guys are looking for 17, shoot me an email and I'll be glad to get you the 17 software. And like I said, we'll be covering that 100% next week on everything that's new in there. Little tips and tricks with 17 and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, and you guys just let me know when you guys want it. Is basically, I know quite a few of you guys do have 17 already, just because I've requested some licenses for you guys. So, okay, great point. I forgot to mention that. Thanks, Ronnie. So anything 3-axis and 4-axis indexing and 5-axis indexing, you will be fine with your post. With 5-axis simultaneous and mill turn, your post will be good, but what we want to do is just to make sure that everything is good. We'll test it on our end with the post processor just to make sure everything is 100% legit. Ronnie, with your, I know in your scenario you guys have a lot of posts. We haven't come across one that we need to make post changes on yet, but just want to make sure, because like I said, you know, our support is geared to the absolute best customer satisfaction that we can give you guys. So we want to just, you know, cross our T's and dot our I's and do all the everything for you guys. So we're not getting in that spot where, you know, you guys upgrade to 5-axis and the post is not working correctly. Like I said, we haven't ran into that one yet, but we just want to double check them. So if you guys want, just send your post over to us and we'll check it real quick and be up and rocking right away. So, but yeah, thank you, Ronnie. I totally forgot about that. But
good point, and well addressed. And that's, you know, we don't, you know, like Kevin says, is our goal is to have, you know, customers who are running spindles to be keeping those spindles running. We don't want something like this to, you know, get into a situation where you're trying to, you know, do your job, and because of a software update where, you know, your spindles are down. We don't want that to happen. So.
Yep. So we're doing everything in our best power to get everything 100% proved out, and like I said, we'll let Germany be the guinea pig style. So, Ronnie asked when it would be ready on the download page. I would say, yeah, within probably 2 weeks to a month. What we're actually waiting for is headquarters to release all the license. Right now, we have to individually request a license if you guys are running a software license. If you guys are running a dongle, we can get that ready for you guys instantaneously. But it will be unlocked on the website, I would say probably 2 weeks, right around there. I got a confirmation from headquarters saying, you know, we'll have all the license ready for you guys in a few days, but I'm just still waiting for that to come up. So it will be on the site for you guys shortly. In the meantime, like I said, shoot me an email. I got no problem sending you guys the link and getting you guys up and running with the 17. So, but any other questions, guys? All right. Well, I guess that kind of wraps it up. Tim, do you got anything else that you can think of?
I can't think of anything. You know, as far as the 5-axis drilling, like Ronnie says, it is what it is. It's
Yep.
pretty straightforward. There isn't a whole lot to cover there, but you know, Kevin, you do a great job with these classes every week, and excited to see that one next week. I wish I was the person sitting in on it, but I might just go ahead and join in just to get some eyes on it and see what you're covering.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys want, what I can do, just as a little prep for you guys, is give me 2 seconds here, and what I can do is I'll put the link for the What's New PDF document for you guys. Mm-hmm. And let me just get in there. Let me log out of that user account. The behind the scenes.
Ooh, look at this. A sneak peek of.
All right, so here's the What's New.
Secretive information.
Yeah, I know. The cop link address, and all right, I put the link for the PDF document for the What's New in 17 in the chat for you guys. So everybody should have access or should see that in there. Soon as I close out of the GoToMeeting, this will kind of all disappear for you guys. So if you guys weren't able to get it in time, just like I said, shoot me an email. I'll get you fixed up, guys. So, but that'll kind of give you a little teaser of what we're going to be kind of covering next week. So, but I guess with that being said, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate the attendance, the great comments. Love seeing all you guys here, and thanks for everybody that is watching this on YouTube right now. Love seeing the views kind of creep up every week on each video, so which is kind of cool. Like I said, let us know what we can do for you guys. And like I said, you know, Tim and I were saying, we want you guys to have the absolute best support experience that you've ever had with the CAM software. So if there's a video that you guys want to see or some training that you want to see, shoot that over to me in email, and we'll get that added in there right away for you guys. So.
And Kevin, George is asking if there's a way you can put a document up on there and put that link in that document so it's visible, and then people can maybe.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, when we do, so I guess George, notepad or something. Oh, so what George
wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
I don't think they could click it, but they could retype it.
Yeah, what you guys can do is, if you guys don't want to click on it right now, you guys can copy it out and just go to your notepad. Let me drag this over to this screen here, and then you could just paste that link in there, and so you guys have it, at a later time or whatnot. So that link is golden there. Once we open up the site for 17, this document will actually get brought over to the documentation side of things in here once we get everything opened up. So it'll be kind of right in here under 17 for you. And I will put that link in the next week's video. So anybody that's watching it next week, I'll put that link in there for you guys. But
cool.
All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Thanks again for attending the class, and we will talk to you guys next Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks again, everybody. Have a great night.
All right, see you guys.